My name is Clarissa. I'm 26 years old, and up until recently, I thought I had the perfect marriage. At least, that's what I told myself. Right until the truth slapped me so hard, I forgot how to breathe. We met when I was just 20, and everything about him felt safe, like he was home. Josh wasn't the loudest in the room or the guy with the flashiest smile, but he had this quiet charm, this kindness that felt rare. We started out as friends, bonded over music, late-night ramen runs, and our shared hatred of pineapple on pizza. Somewhere along the way, we fell in love. Slowly, sweetly, and all at once. We dated for 6 years. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. Goals, as my friends used to say. And when he proposed on that rainy Tuesday in the bookstore where we first met, I said yes through tears, laughter, and shaking hands. I believed in us. I believed in him. But marriage is funny. It doesn't always fall apart in loud, obvious ways. Sometimes, it crumbles quietly, in small silences, in late nights on the couch with your backs turned, in fake smiles and long sighs. The first year was okay. Not amazing, but okay. We both worked long hours. But we made time for date nights, movie marathons, even lazy mornings tangled in bed sheets. But somewhere in the second year, things started to shift. Josh became distant. At first, I thought it was stress. He was quieter. Sex became rare. He was still kind, still helpful around the house, but something was off. He felt unreachable, like he was always somewhere else, mentally checked out. I blamed myself. Maybe I had changed. Maybe I wasn't as fun or exciting anymore. I bought new lingerie, cooked his favorite meals, planned a surprise weekend trip just to reignite what we had. But nothing worked. He smiled and thanked me, but I could tell his heart was nowhere near mine. I wish I could say I found out the truth gently, that it unfolded in a way I could prepare for. But that would be a lie. It happened one night while he was asleep. His phone buzzed beside him. Normally, I never snooped. I trusted him. But that night, something pulled me. A gut feeling. A quiet scream in the back of my mind. What I saw changed everything. Messages. Dozens of them. Photos. Names I didn't recognize. All men. And not just casual flirting. These were full-blown affairs. Detailed, emotional, and physical. Some of them dated back to when we were still dating. Before we even got married. I sat there, heart pounding, staring at the glowing screen of the man. I thought I knew, realizing I had no idea who he really was. I don't know how long I sat there, clutching his phone like it was evidence in a trial. I didn't even know I was attending. The messages kept coming, sweet nothings, private jokes, hotel plans. Some of the men were strangers. Others, I vaguely recognized. Guys from his gym. A coworker he once mentioned. One name had been saved as Carla. But it didn't take long for me to realize Carla was not a woman. Not even close. I felt sick. The room spun. My hands were trembling so hard the phone almost slipped out of them. And still, he slept peacefully beside me, like nothing was wrong. Like our whole marriage hadn't just collapsed under the weight of his lies. I could have waited till morning. I could have bottled it up, pretended for one more day. But I didn't. I shook him awake. Josh, wake up. He stirred, groggy, confused. What's wrong? I held up his phone. You tell me. At first, he blinked like he didn't understand. But then he saw the screen, the messages still open. His whole body went still. For a moment, I think he forgot how to breathe too. There was no denial. No fake story. No gaslighting. Just silence. And then, I'm sorry. That's all he said. Over and over. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out like this. I didn't want to hurt you. I asked him how long it had been going on. He couldn't even look me in the eye when he said it. Since before we got married. It felt like someone had poured ice water over my soul. So you lied to me? For years. He shook his head, tears in his eyes. I didn't mean to lie. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to be this way. I just wanted a normal life. Normal. Like I was a box he needed to check. A performance to keep up. A mask he wore every day to feel like he was still in control of something. I love you, he said. I do. I didn't think I could ever say it out loud. Not to anyone. I wanted to scream. To cry. To hit something. But all I could do was sit there, paralyzed between heartbreak and fury. He swore it was over. Said he'd stop. Said he wanted our marriage to work. He begged me not to leave him. Promised to go to therapy. Promised to change. But the thing about betrayal is, once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who I was looking at anymore. The man in front of me wasn't just my husband. He was a stranger wearing the face of someone I used to love. They say time heals, but sometimes time just stretches the pain out, makes it quieter, but no less real. We stayed together. At least we tried. After the confrontation, Josh was different, more present, more gentle. He made coffee in the mornings, left handwritten notes on the bathroom mirror, and texted me every few hours to check in. He said all the right things, went to therapy, invited me to come with him. On the outside, it might have looked like we were healing, like we were fighting for our marriage. But inside, I was unraveling. It's strange how someone can break you and still share your bed at night. We lay side by side, and every time his hand reached for mine, I flinched, not physically, but emotionally. My body responded like I should feel safe. But my heart, it was screaming. I wanted to forgive him. I wanted to believe that people could change, that maybe he had just been scared, that maybe I was the one person in his life he truly loved, even if he didn't love me the way I thought he did. But love without truth isn't love. It's performance. It's convenience. And I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't his wife. I was his shield, his safety net, his escape from a part of himself he wasn't ready to accept. We talked a lot. Late-night conversations that went in circles. I asked questions I didn't want answers to, but needed to hear anyway. How many? Did you love any of them? Were you ever planning to tell me? Every answer chipped away at the version of our relationship I'd built in my mind. He swore he never loved any of them, that they didn't mean anything, that I was different, that we were real. But if we were real, why did I feel like a ghost in my own life? I started to lose myself. I stopped laughing the way I used to. I stopped texting my friends back. I avoided mirrors because all I saw was someone pretending to be okay. I thought staying would prove I was strong, that I was loyal, compassionate, patient. But instead, I just felt like I was disappearing. The worst part? I still loved him. I loved the memories. The old version of him. The version who danced with me in the kitchen at midnight. Who cried when he first saw me in my wedding dress. Who made me believe we were unbreakable. But that man was gone. Or maybe he never existed. One night, I sat on the floor of our bathroom, knees pulled to my chest, whispering the question I was too afraid to answer. Am I staying because I love him? Or because I'm afraid to start over? I used to believe that love could fix anything. That if you tried hard enough, forgave deep enough, prayed long enough, love would win. But sitting in the quiet of our living room one morning, watching the man I used to dream about sip his coffee across from me like nothing had shattered between us, I realized something. Love can't fix what's built on a lie. It had been 5 months since I found out. 5 months of pretending we were okay. 5 months of trying to fall asleep beside someone who broke me in ways I didn't have words for. 5 months of therapy sessions, both joint and solo, where I smiled politely and lied through my teeth. I kept hoping one day I'd wake up and feel whole again. But the truth was, I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I wasn't angry, not in the way people expected me to be. I wasn't screaming or slamming doors. I was just empty, the kind of numb that eats away at you quietly, so you don't even notice what it's doing until you're hollow. One evening, I looked at Josh, really looked at him, and I saw someone who was still lost. He was trying, yes. He went to therapy. He deleted the apps. He answered every question I asked with brutal honesty. But there was something in his eyes, something that told me he wasn't done fighting himself. And maybe he never would be. I want to stay, he said softly. I want to be the husband you deserve. I nodded. I heard him. But I also knew he wasn't that man. Not because he was gay, not because he cheated, but because even now, with everything out in the open, he still wasn't free. And I couldn't be his cage any longer. So I packed a small bag. Not all my things, just enough. Enough to leave, to breathe, to think. I left the key on the counter and walked out without saying goodbye. It wasn't dramatic. There were no tears or final fights. Just a silence that felt more honest than anything we'd said in months. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust again. But I do know this. I am not a placeholder. I am not someone's hiding place. I am a woman who loved with her whole heart and walked away when that love became a prison. No, we don't have kids. Yes, I got tested. I'm okay. And no, I don't hate him. I just can't lose myself trying to save someone who was never ready to be found.